presumably visible in the park. My mind erased. We were in the parking lot, presumably visible on security possibilities. We were in the parking lot, presumably visible on security cameras. My mind erased. We were in the parking lot. How long before someone noticed? Before Matt sent someone to check on me? What's your name? Check on me. What's your name? I asked. What's your name? I asked. I asked, trying to buy time. Lisa. Time. Lisa. 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 She replied after a moment's hesitation. Time. Lisa. She replied after. Lisa. She replied after a moment's hesitation. Mike Donovan. Yeah.
I'm just going shopping. I've got to go from shopping for Mother's Day.
Mike Donovan is my brother.
Pardon me?
After a moment's hesitation. Mike Donovan is my brother. Hesitation. Replied after a moment's hesitation. Mike Donovan is my brother. Listen, Lisa. Lisa, listen to me. Listen, Lisa. Lisa, listen to me. There's something wrong. It's my brother. Lisa, listen to me. Listen to me. There's something wrong with this place. It's not. Lisa, listen to me. Donovan is my brother. Donovan is my brother. Mike Donovan is my brother. Lisa, listen to me. There's something wrong with this place. It's not safe. There's something wrong with this place. It's not safe. There's something wrong with this place. Safe. I trailed off. Real safe. Not safe. Not safe. Safe. I trailed off. Safe. I trailed off, realizing how to describe what I'd witnessed. I don't care if he is still in. I'd witnessed. Describe what I'd witnessed. I don't care if he is still in there. I'm going to get him. You are going to get me in there. You are going to get me in. You are going to get me in there. You are going to get me in there. I don't care. I don't care. If he is still in there, I'm going to get him. Him. You are going to get me in there. Lisa's voice. In there. In there. Lisa's voice cracked with desperation. She pressed the gun to my back and started walking back. She pressed the gun to my... No idea what her... She pressed the gun... I had no idea what her plan was, but I had to think of something to save. I got back to the... But I had to think of something to save both of us. I had no idea. She pressed the gun. I had no idea what her plan was, but I had to think of something to save both of us. I got back to the door and looked at Lisa, and she nodded. I pressed the button. I pressed the button on the door, and as it opened, I saw Jean. She was just stepping outside. She was just stepping outside, a freshly lit cigarette in her lips as she was walking out at the same time. Her eyes time. Her eyes flicked from me to idea what her plan was. There's something wrong with this place. It's not safe. I trailed off, realizing how insane it would sound to describe Donovan as my brother. Lisa, listen to me. Something wrong. It's not safe. I trailed off. I don't care. If he.
Hey, Ali. Yeah. Progressively getting worse, but it just sucks because I can't do any voiceover stuff because it just doesn't sound the best. But yeah, I guess I can spend my time doing editing stuff. But hey, thanks for stopping by.
If he is still in there, I don't care. At him. You are going to get me in there. Lisa's voice cracked with desperation. She pressed the gun to my back and I started walking back, desperate. I had no idea, but I had to think. I got back to the door and looked. I saw Jean. She was just a freshly lit cigarette in her lips as she was walking out at the same.
Yeah, me too.
Her eyes flicked from me.
My biggest issue at the moment is I do like voiceover orders on Fiverr. So I do orders for people because I'm a freelancing voice artist. And I've got orders at the moment, but I can't do them. So I've had to like message these people saying I'm unwell and I can't I can't do it. So now I'm backed up on orders as well, which sucks. But yeah, I don't know. What can you do?
To Lisa, then zeroed in on the gun with the clinic. Her eyes flicked from me to Lisa, then zeroed in on the gun with the clinical then zeroed in. Put that down before you get. To Lisa, then zeroed in on the gun with a clinical detachment. Put that down.
No bueno. Correct.
Detachment. Put that down before you get. Detachment. Put that down before you get yourself killed. Put that down before you get yourself killed. Put that down before you get yourself. Jean said. Jean said. Her voice flat and Jean said. Her voice flat and emotionless. Lisa's hand trembled, the gun now wavering between Jean and me. Stay back. Me. Stay back. I just want to find my brother. I just want to find my brother. Mike Donovan. He worked here and now he's gone.
Oh, very nice. Oh, nice. Cinco de Mayo, huh? Return of the 5th. True. Well, congrats. Celebrations. Celebrations. I'm not too knowledgeable about Cinco de Mayo. I assume it's kind of like a Independence Day sort of thing. That's my understanding. Is that relatively correct? Oh, burritos and tacos sound so good right now.
Mike Donovan. He worked here and now he's gone. Gone. Jean's expression. And now he's gone. Jean's expression. My brother. Mike Donovan. Find my brother. Mike Donovan, he worked here. Mike Donovan, he. Brother. Mike Donovan, he worked here and now he's gone.
Yep. Mexican Independence Day. It's from the French Republic. Am I right about this? I'm gonna have to do my own Google. Yep. Nice. Ah. Ellie, you're making me hungry, girl. Seriously.
He's gone. Jean's expression didn't change, but something flickered behind her eyes. Recognition, maybe even a hint of pity. Eyes. Recognition, maybe even a hint of pity. She took a single pity. She took a single step forward. I knew Mike. He was a good guy. I knew Mike.
Whoa.
Knew Mike. Knew Mike. He was a good guy. I knew Mike. He was a good guy. Forward. I knew Mike. He was a good guy. Mike. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. Lisa's face crumpled.
Oh wow, that's pretty sick. Adoptive parents are Hispanic and Native American. So good cooks on both sides. See, you're talking all these foods. I don't know anything about this stuff. Lingua. Lingua. I didn't realize there was tamales for different occasions, but Christmas tamales sound good too.
He was a good guy. Lisa's face. Good guy. Lisa's face crumpled. What do you mean was? What do you mean what? What do you mean was? What do you mean was? Was. What do you mean was? What do you mean was? Crumpled. What do you mean was? Jean gazed at Lisa with a contradictory mixture of compassion and indifference.
Oh, nice. Wasn't expecting the cow tongue. Alright. Fair enough. But sick. Fuck.
Was. Jean gazed at Lisa with a contradictory mixture of compassion and indifference. Mike violated protocol during maintenance yesterday. Mike violated protocol during maintenance. Violated protocol. Violated protocol. Violated protocol. Indifference. Mike violated protocol. Mike violated protocol during maintenance yesterday, but something flickered behind her eyes. Maybe even took a single forward. I knew Mike. Step forward. I knew Mike was a good. Lisa's face crumpled. What do you mean, was? Jean. Difference. Mike violated protocol during maintenance yesterday. There was an incident. An incident yesterday. Yesterday. There was an incident. Bullshit! Incident. Bullshit! Lisa's voice rose dangerously. Bullshit! Lisa's voice. There was an incident. Lisa's voice rose dangerously.
Hey, I mean, if you're gonna eat it, if you're gonna eat a cow, why waste some bits? You know? If you're able to consume every part, why not?
Rose dangerously. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Where is he? What are you telling me? Me. She pointed. Telling me. She pointed the gun straight at Jean, who stood there looking indifferent to the threat. You are going to take me. Threat. You are going to take. You are. Threat. You are going to take me inside, and we are going to find him. Him.
Waste not, want not. Not entirely sure what it means, but I feel you. Slay.
Him. Jean slowly raised her hands as if finally acknowledging the gun pointed at her, and responded emotionlessly. This way. This way. We are going to find him. Jean slowly raised her hand. This way. This way. I followed both of them back into the warehouse, nervously looking around to see if anyone was there to help. I knew we were in danger, but I felt conflicted. This woman.
So many mouth noises, Jesus Christ.
Conflicted. This woman was just looking for a brother. It sounded like her brother. It sounded like she had some idea of the danger he was in.
True. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't waste any food and you won't want food later.
For a brother. It sounded like she had some idea of the danger he was in. It sounded like this woman was just looking for a brother. This woman was conflicted. This woman was just looking for a brother. It sounded like she had some danger he was in. I wanted her to have answers and closure. But I knew what it meant. Closure. But I knew what it meant to break protocol and try and help.
God.
Try and help. If anything, help. Try and help. If anything, in order to save my own skin, the rules dictated I had to try and detain her for trespassing. I followed along.
Always got food on the mind then, Ali. Don't worry, I'm always thinking about food too. I mean, how can you not? It's so good.
Detain her for trespassing. I followed along. Trespassing. The rules dictated I had to try and detain her for trespassing. I followed along in a conflicted daze. Distracted distracted as I was, distracted as I barely distracted as I was. I barely registered the flashing. Distracted as I was, I barely distracted as I was. I barely distracted as I was. I barely registered the flashing light behind us near the fallen tablet that Jean had left.
Were you a cook at a where were you a cook at? Like a restaurant chain, or like an events place?
Ooh. Near the fallen tablet that Jean had left. We walked along for a while and everything was strangely quiet. We arrived at a side entrance near the storage rooms. We stopped moving. We stopped moving and Lisa looked nervous and asked, "What is this? Why are we stopping?" And asked, "What is this? What is this? What is this? Why are we stopping?" Jean turned. Stopping. Jean turned around and flatly stated, "To say I am sorry about this for you and for Mike. To say I am stated. To say I am to say I am. I was confused about this. For you and for Mike. I was confused for Mike. I was confused and Lisa looked concerned. A deafening crash. A deafening crash erupted behind us, concerned. A deafening crash erupted behind us as the warehouse door flew open with a violent force. Before I could even turn...
Jack of all trades, Ali. American, Italian, Mexican, and Chinese. Funnily enough, all the types of food I enjoy, which isn't hard, because I enjoy a lot of different food. If you can, cook me something and send it over. That would be grand.
Violent force. Before I could even turn around, a mountain of a man charged through, in one fluid, moving with terrifying speed for someone. I was confused. A man charged through, moving with terrifying speed for someone his size. In one fluid motion, he slammed into Lisa, knocking her forward with such force that the gun clattered across the concrete floor. Target down. Target down. Target down. The man announced. Lisa struggled.
Jesus, what voice did I pick for this guy? Yeah, that's fair. You know what? By the time it got to me anyway, it'd be like 2 weeks and it would go bad anyway, so. Unless you pop it in a can, I guess. Put some preservatives in it, that would be pretty sick, but maybe it won't be the same.
Target down. Target down. Target down. Target down. Floor. Target down. The man announced. The man announced in a cold, methodical voice. Target down, the man announced in a voice. Lisa struggled beneath his mass. Lisa struggled, gasping for air as he. Lisa struggled beneath his massive frame, gasping for air as he twisted her arm behind her back with practiced efficiency. Back with practiced efficiency. I stood frozen. I stood frozen, shocked by the sudden ambush. I took a I took a step back and almost put my own hands up. I took a step back and almost put my own hands up. The large man put my own hands up. The large man looked up at Jean. Hands up. The large man looked up at Jean.
Yeah, Ali, sounds good. If you can make it work, that would be great. I'll pay you for it, obviously. I mean, money's tight, but if it's worth it, it's worth it.
My own hands up. The large man looked up at Jean and then at me, and then growled out a brief introduction. Charles Stanton, security chief. I see the firearm, so I presume you were taken by force and have not.
Jesus. A snack box swap would be kind of cute, actually. Snacks. It's like those YouTube videos where people get like the snacks from overseas. They try them and they're like, "Oh, this tastes crazy! Wow, you really got it right over in Australia." Well, our snacks are pretty good. Yeah, we I don't know what we put into our chocolate, but I've been to Hawaii. That's as close to the American way of life as I've been. But I went to Hawaii and I had a Hershey's bar over there and actually hated it. I didn't like it at all. And then I've just further stopped having any of the chocolate. I don't know what it is. All the US chocolate kind of tastes very it tastes cheap. That's how I would describe it. I don't know. Or maybe it's just Hershey's. But I like this. I like the snacks we got over here. What's your favorite soda? Is it like Schweppes? Favorite soda? What soda do we have? Is it Bundaberg ginger beer? Or is it Kirk's? Please tell me it's Kirk's. Kirk's creaming soda or Kirk's Pasito? Nice. See, Bundaberg I love. I do the ginger beer. The ginger beer's dope. Bundaberg, where is Bundaberg? I believe it's in Queensland, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is New South Wales. Yeah, Queensland. You should have the ginger beer. But hey, Bundaberg is dope. Love their stuff. Bit expensive, but it's good.
Introduction. Charles Stanton, security. Charles Stanton, security chief. Introduction. Charles Stanton, security chief. I see the Chief. Chief. I see the firearm, so I presume you were taken by force and have not failed to detain the target yourselves. Charles Stanton, Security Chief. Charles Stanton. Charles Stanton. Charles Stanton, Security Chief. I see the firearm, so I presume you were taken by force and have not failed to detain the target yourselves. Chief. I see the firearm, so I presume you were taken by force and have not failed to detain.
That's fair. I say I love ginger beer. I think it's delicious. But yeah, I believe Oz is in Queensland, so it would make sense that he's near there.
Target yourselves. His voice had a strange air of accusation. Target yourselves. His voice had a strange air of accusation, like it was our fault for not arresting the woman. Like it was our fault for not arresting the woman who had it. Like it was our fault for not arresting the woman who had us at gunpoint and making him do his job. Stanton. Job. Stanton suddenly yanked Lisa to her feet. Job. Stanton suddenly yanked Lisa to her feet. Strange air. His face was her feet. His face was a mask of professional detachment, but his eyes. There was something. There was something predatory in them that made my blood run cold. Civilian trespasser. Cold. Civilian trespasser. Civilian trespasser. Civilian trespasser, Jean explained, brushing dust. Brushing dust from her. Explained.
Licorice? As in, you bought licorice today? See, I do not like licorice at all. I find it repulsive.
Brushing dust from her uniform. Armed, as you saw. Took his hostage. Armed, as you saw. Armed, as you.
You got the strawberry one. Daryl Lee, classic. See, the black licorice is, I don't know, not a fan, but all the red ones I don't mind because it's not. I don't think it's actually licorice. And look at that, no high fructose corn syrup, plant-based, classic. Where do they sell them? Is it just like in the stores? Like, is it in like a international aisle? I love beef stew too. Oh man, I gotta eat something at some point. Not right now though.
Armed, as you saw, took us hostage. Stan, you saw, took us hostage. Stanton nodded his head and looked at Stanton nodded his head and looked at me. Since the trespasser was apprehended, you are free to leave now. Since the trespasser was apprehended, you are free to leave now. Since the trespasser was apprehended, you are free to leave now. Considering the circumstance, I will speak to Matt and authorize you to take the rest of the night off. I will speak to circumstance. I will speak to Matt. Was apprehended, you are free to leave now. Considering the circumstance, I will speak to Matt and authorize you to take the rest of the night off. Go home and get some rest. Leave this to us. Off. Go home and get some rest. Leave this to us. I looked at Lisa. Leave this to us. I looked at Lisa, who had been handcuffed, and then at Jean, who was grimly watching as Stanton was logging something on his phone. I know he...
That's all good. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I know he had just held me at gunpoint, but something felt wrong about leaving her with this. He had just held me. Yes.
Shit.
I know he had just held me at gunpoint, but no, he had just held me.
No, she had just held me at gunpoint.
No, he had just held me at gunpoint, but something felt wrong about leaving her with this Stanton guy.
Damn it. Fuck it, I don't
At
care.
gunpoint, but something felt wrong about leaving Stanton guy. I asked what would happen with her. I asked what local with her. Local authorities would have been contacted. Local authorities have been contacted. Stanton replied. His voice unnervingly calm. They'll deal with the trespasser appropriately. Something in his They'll deal with the trespasser appropriately.
Whoops.
They'll deal with the trespasser appropriately. Something in his tone didn't match his words. I did not feel like it was not even making a call and not feel like it was standard procedure for handling a trespasser. He was not even making a call, and why did he want me to leave all of a sudden? It was just this mountain of a man with dead eyes claiming
I reckon after I do this, finish this section, this chapter, I'm going to go back to chapter 1, and I'm going to go through and actually edit it to put up for a video.
Authorities had been contacted. I just want to know what happened to my... I just want to know what... I just want to know what happened to my brother, Lisa shouted, struggling against... Please! Mike, are you here? What happened to my brother? Brother! Lisa shouted, Lisa shouted, struggling against her restraints. Please!
Whoops.
I asked what local authority. Stanton. Voice unnerved. They'll deal with the trespasser appropriately.
Sushi, good choice.
Something in his tone appropriately. Something I did not feel like it was Stan. He was not even making a call. It was just this all of a sudden. It was just this mountain of a man. Leave all of a sudden. It was just this mountain of a man. It was just this mountain of a man with dead eyes claiming authorities. Man with dead eyes claiming dead eyes.
What is that noise?
Dead eyes. Dead eyes claiming
There we go.
Dead eyes claiming authorities had been contacted. I just want to know what happened, Lisa shouted, struggling against her restraints. Please! Mike, are you... Please! Mike, are you here? Stanton. Here? Stanton's massive hand clamped over her mouth, silencing her instantly. That's enough, he growled, all pretense of profession. I took a hesitant step instantly. That's enough, he growled, all pretense of professional. I took a vanishing. I took a hesitant step forward. Maybe I should step forward. Maybe I should stay. I mean, I was involved, so I should probably give a statement or something. Jean shot me a warning look, almost imperceptible but unmistakable in its intensity, or something. Jean shot me a warning look, almost imperceptible but unmistakable in its intensity.
Oh, thanks, Ali. I really appreciate that. There is a lot of work involved, but I think all of us, we really enjoy it. So it doesn't necessarily feel like work, but it feels like it's an art form. So it's like creating art. You know, when you have something, it's like cooking. When you find something you're good at, or you find something you enjoy, whenever you do it, it doesn't feel like it's, doesn't feel like work. It just feels like fun, like a hobby.
But
I mean, this isn't necessarily work. I don't get paid to do this stuff, but I definitely enjoy it. Definitely as a hobby. So the thing is, I think you could do voice editing or voice work. Like, I feel like anyone can. And of course, some people are better than others at it, but that's just because some people are naturally gifted at things, which I'm envious of. But it just takes a lot of practice. So I think you're capable of doing it all, 100%.
Intensity.
It's just about having the equipment and the ability to do so.
Intensity. Her eyes said everything. Intensity. Her eyes. Intensity. Her eyes said everything. Me a warning look. Said everything her mouth couldn't get out. Now. Your statement can wait until tomorrow, Stanton said. Her mouth couldn't get out. Her mouth couldn't get out. Now. Your statement can wait until tomorrow. Now. Your statement can wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good. I love listening to stories while I do stuff as well. I do like every time I'm driving somewhere, because I live out in the sticks, so it takes me about half an hour to 40 minutes to get to work most of the time. So I usually listen to podcasts or stories while I go to work, and I really enjoy listening to friends' stories. Like I'll listen to Oz's work, I'll listen to Nexia, I'll listen to Omen's work while I go from one place to another. Which also sucks because I kind of forget to leave a like and comment, but I can when I can. But yeah, I don't know. There's some I spend a majority of my time listening to music or podcasts or narrations. I'm a bit of an audio lover, I suppose.
Stanton said, his attention returning to me. Wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow, Stanton said, his attention returning to me. Go home. That's an order. To me. Your statement can wait until tomorrow, Stanton said. His attention returning to me. Go home. That's an order.
See, I don't know if I could necessarily be behind the scenes because I like attention. I mean, I do. I love performing. I don't know. It's one of my things that I love doing. I like entertaining people. I like making people laugh, and I like creating stories for people. Is this what we call him? Papa? Is this Oz? Is he Papa? Papa Oz? It's good though. Keep you busy.
That's an order. I looked at Lisa one last time.
What is that?
I looked at Lisa.
What is that?
At Lisa. I looked at Lisa.
What is that? What the hell?
I looked at Lisa one last time. Tears.
Papa Scares. My bad. Sorry, I just thought it was Oz because that's what I call him.
Tears streamed down her time. That's an order. I looked at Lisa one last time. Tears streamed down her face, her eyes wide with terror and pleading. I wanted to help. I wanted to help her, but what could I do? If I stayed, but what could I do? Help her. But what could I do? If I stayed, I'd likely disappear too. If I stayed,
Yeah, he's my papa. Papa Oz.
okay. Here too.
Or sometimes daddy, just depending on the day.
Okay. Two. Okay. I said finally. Two. Okay. Okay. I said finally.
Or papi, just depending.
I said finally, backing away. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, Jean. I'll away. I'll see you tomorrow, Jean. I'll see you tomorrow, Jean.
I'm joking, Ali. I'm joking. It was just a joke. I'm kidding. I just thought it'd be funny. It's funny.
I'll see you tomorrow, Jean. Jean nodded. Jean nodded grimly at me and then turned back to Stanton and the captive Lisa. I reluctantly left the warehouse on an. I reluctantly left the warehouse on unsteady legs. My mind reeled the warehouse on unsteady legs. My mind reeling with conflicted emotions. The sound of Lisa's
Oi, papi.
the sound
Is that what it is? Oi. Oi.
emotions.
Oh, this is a judgment-free zone. I'm glad. Thank you.
The sound of Lisa's desperate cry. Emotions. My mind reeling with conflicted emotions. The sound of Lisa's desperate cries echoed in my ears as I stumbled to my car.
Oi, papi.
Car.
How was that? Was that good?
My car. My hands trembled as I fumbled with the
Ay, papi. How's that? Is that good? Papi Oz.
keys, dropping them twice before I fumbled with the keys. Dropping them twice. Keys. Dropping them twice before managing to unlock the door. Once inside the door. Once inside, I sat motionless, staring at the warehouse's blank exterior.
Thanks, Elliot. Thanks for the tips. I'm going to use that more often now.
What was happening?
Hope I'm not appropriating anything, but I don't know. It just feels good to say, you know.
What was happening blank exterior? What was happening there right now? What would happen to me here? What was happening there right now? What would happen to me if I'd stayed? I felt sick. If I'd stayed. If I'd stayed. If I'd stayed.
What's that?
Stayed. I felt sick, guilty, and helpless.
Thanks, Elliot. Appreciate it.
Helpless. I started the engine. And pulled out of the parking lot, glancing repeatedly in my room behind me. No police car. No behind me. No police cars approached. No sirens wailed in the distance. Whatever in the distance. Whatever Stanton meant by authorities, it clearly wasn't the local police department. Back home, police department. Back home, I felt a creeping sense of paranoia. I double-locked the door behind me and drew all the blinds. I thought I could ignore everything and press on. But more on. But more and more happened every day.
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily an extrovert. I am at the moment hiding behind a computer screen and not showing my face. But I mean, I guess that's not fair. Like I feel like I do get fairly extroverted. I mean, just depending on the situation, of course. I mean, like performance in theatre, you can be super introverted but still be good at performing on stage. I know a few people who are quite introverted but are really good performers. It's just like a whole different skill. You know, I feel like some people are really good at acting and performing, but can be just as, deficient in terms of like social conversation and talking with people. Not to say that's a bad thing, but it's just funny how a skill set that's so ingrained in speech and conversation, you can still be bad at the real life conversation and speech part. That's good. As long as you have that nominated extrovert, you're fine.
Every day, I did not know how much more I could take. And my heart sank when I realized I had another day of that madness in store for me tomorrow. End of part 3.
Alrighty. Part 3. Woohoo. 2 more parts left.
Day of that madness in store for me tomorrow. Testing. I tried to sleep. Tomorrow. It started with the strange email I received. It started with the strange email I received.
What's that?
It started with the strange. Started with the strange. With the strange. Started with the strange email I received. It was some kind of job listing. It promised freight. It sounded good and was something. It sounded good and was something. It sounded.
No.
It sounded good and was something I had. I'd been recently laid off from my.
Pictionary, love that game. Pictionary was one of my favorites because I feel like I was fairly good at drawing.
Hesitate. The opportunity to get back to good paying work was too appealing to I didn't hesitate. The opportunity to get back to good paying work was too appealing to pass up. I applied and didn't expect much to happen right away. But later that same afternoon, my phone buzzed with a new email notification. The subject line read, PT warehouse position, and my heart skipped a beat. The message was brief, yet The salary mentioned nearly made my jaw drop. It was nearly 3 times what unreal. But I tempered some of my. Still, I decided to go in for the. The address led me to an industrial park on the edge of. No windows, just concrete walls and a low. The parking lot was nearly empty. The parking lot was near. The parking lot was. Parking lot. The parking lot was nearly empty. Just 3 other cars in the middle of a workday. I arrived. I arrived at the entrance.
Jesus.
The entrance. No windows, just. No windows, just concrete walls and a loading dock around the. And my heart skipped a beat as I looked. The message was brief yet promising. They wanted to discuss the role further. The salary. It felt almost unreal, but I tempered some of my initial excitement when I enticing offer. The address led me to an industrial park on the edge of town. I pulled up to a nondescript gray building with only a small placard reading.
Yeah, the sports one I also fail at. But give me art and nature any day, and I'm set.
The address led me to an industrial park on the edge of town. I pulled up to no windows, just concrete on the back. The parking lot. The parking lot was nearly empty, just 3 other cars, despite it being the middle of a workday. I arrived about 15 minutes early for my interview. As I approached the entrance, an odd feeling of dizziness struck me. Something in the air, maybe. I hoped there were no fumes or anything leaking out somewhere. I looked back to the door, out somewhere. I looked back to the door and it buzzed open before I could even reach for the handle. You must be the new applicant. You must be the new applicant. A voice called from inside. A tall, thin man in a grey shirt. Right on time. We appreciate punctuality. I introduced myself properly and extended my hand, but he simply turned and gestured for me to follow. The interior was The interior was nothing like I expected. Instead of the bustling warehouse I'd imagined, the space was eerily quiet. A few fluorescent lights flickered overhead, illuminating rows of no moving forklifts, no workers, just silence. Where is everyone? Where is everyone? I asked. Everyone, I asked, my voice echoing slightly. Shift change, the man replied. Shift change. Shift change, the man replied without turning around. You be working nights. Few, distractions that way. We reached a small office at the end of a long corridor. Inside sat an older man behind a metal desk, his graying hair cropped short, his posture rigid even while seated. The nameplate on his desk read, PT Supervisor, Matt Branson. This the new guy? He asked, not bothering to look up from his paperwork. Yes, sir, for the night shift position, the thin man replied, before disappearing back down the hallway, leaving me alone with the man who I
Ellie, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but you guys sound like a lot of fun, so.
position, the thin man replied, before disappearing back down the hallway, leaving me alone with the man who I presumed would be my boss. Sit, Matt said, finally glancing up. His eyes were hard, calculating. Like he was assessing a piece of equipment rather than a person. I sat in the chair opposite him. I started to introduce myself. Thank you for the opportunity. My name, but he cut me off. I know your name and I know you're thankful for the job. Here's how this works. I'm going to get right to the point. Lay out what is expected, and that will be your chance to either take it or leave it. I was surprised by the bluntness of my apparent interview, but I nodded my head and he continued. You show up at 10 p.m. sharp. You load what needs loading. You unload what needs unloading. You don't ask questions about the cargo. You don't open anything. Ever. I hesitated, flustered by his tone. Okay, but what exactly will I be? He interrupted again. Handling specialized merchandise for high-end clients. That's all you need to know. The pay is good because discretion is good because discretion is mandatory. Got it? Sure thing, boss man. I replied with a slight.
Okay, fair enough.
Got it? Sure thing, boss man. I replied. Got it? Sure thing. Got it? Sure thing, boss man. I replied with a slight. I replied with a slight smirk, trying to mask my unease. His expression didn't change. This isn't a joke, new guy. This isn't a joke, new guy. Break protocol and there will be consequences. Understood? I nodded, swallowing hard. The smirk faded from my face. Crystal clear. Crystal clear. Good. I will assume that is a yes then. Welcome aboard. Matt slid a form across the desk. Sign here, please. The rest of the paperwork can wait for later. You start tonight. I scanned the document quickly. It was an unusually lengthy confidentiality agreement. My pen hovered above the signature line as a voice in my head screamed that something wasn't right. My agreement. My pen hovered above the signature line. Right. The whole don't ask questions. Right. The whole don't ask questions about what we were shipping screamed of something illegal. But then I thought about my empty bank account, my overdue rent, and I signed. Welcome to PT, Matt said without enthusiasm. He stood up and gestured for me to follow him.
Alright, I think I'm gonna end stream. I got other stuff to get onto. Thanks for joining me again, Ali. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I reckon I may have to edit all this in secret. But yeah, thanks again. Hopefully I recover and sounds better next time. So thank you again.